In this video, we are going to walk through how you can put together the total cost of attending a college university and borrowing money through student loans. In our previous videos, we walked through the financial aid package that you saw with a financial aid offer that looks similar to this. This was an actual offer that a client I was working with, they received from the University of Maryland here in 2025. And in this offer, they had options for a subsidized loan and an unsubsidized loan. So in our previous video, we went through the differences between those. Basically, a subsidized loan is going to have the interest paid for you while you're in college, as long as you meet the eligibility requirements. And then an unsubsidized loan is going to have interest accrue while you're still enrolled in college. But in this video, what I want to do is give you the big picture around what the total borrowing cost is going to look like and how you can start to get an idea around what the repayment will look like once you graduate. So what I've done is I've put together a sheet here that walks through each year, and you'll have access to this. What we've done is we put together each year in here, and then the different loan types. So subsidized loan, unsubsidized loan, and then the interest that accrues. Now, in each year, you're going to have a different amount available to you in a loan. If you look at the limits here on StudentAid.gov, under the loan section, direct subsidized and direct unsubsidized loans, what you can do is roll down here and you'll see the value of the total amount that you could borrow each year. Now, what you want to do is to just simulate this. What you'll notice is that year one is $5,500. And if you look at our student aid offer, you'll see that the total loans that we got were $5,500. So it's fair to say that you're going to get an offer each year that'll be around that amount, around the total maximum. And so what we did in our repayment sheet here was we used those as the values each year. So for the freshman borrowing costs, we used the full limit of $5,500. In the sophomore year, you'll notice here that the maximum is $6,500, and so that's what we used here. And then in junior and senior year, we used $7,500, and what you'll see is that that is the total amount that you can borrow as an undergrad right now. So what we've done is we've applied an interest rate to these. In this case, we're using the value of 6.5% or 6.53%. That is the current value that is applied in the loan simulator. And we're going to walk through that here. If you go into StudentAid.gov and then you go into the loan simulator, you're going to be able to access this tool. It's going to give you some options for just borrowing and repaying. And it is based on your personal situation. So if you want to adjust an existing payment strategy or you're having trouble, then this video isn't going to be too much help for you. What we're going to do is say you're starting from scratch. We just want to get an idea of what it's going to cost to go to college. So we're just going to say we're first, and we've got 4 years left. Are you a dependent or an independent student is going to be based on if you're living at home or you're if you're living as a dependent to your parents, or if you're independent, you're filing your taxes on your own. That's going to be a conversation with your parents. But for this case, let's just say that we are independent. And then we're just going to say Maryland and University of Maryland. So you can type in all of your different details in here and then hit continue. Now you can go in and fill this out. For this example, let's just say that we're there. And then how much do you think that you'll pay for school? Let's just say $5,500 because that's what we've got from the from our financial aid offer here. Now you'll notice here that as part of the aid offer, there is a work study program that is valued at $3,000. So when they ask you how much do you expect to make yearly, we just want to say, $3,000. That's not going to include any employment that you may have over the summer or other jobs outside of that. But let's just use that for example's sake. And then you would just say if you're single or married, if you have any kids, we're going to say none. and then we'll go to continue. Now, this is going to allow you to add in a loan. So what we want to do is we want to look at our financial aid offer, and you see that we had a subsidized loan and an unsubsidized loan, and the total value here is listed. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these values and plug them in, right? So $3,500 for subsidized and $2,000 for unsubsidized. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to add it in here. So loan type is a direct subsidized loan. It automatically fills in the interest rate for me. That's where I got the 6.53%. And then the value is going to be $3,500 from my financial aid offer. And then I'm going to do an unsubsidized loan, and that's going to be $2,000. I'm going to save that there. And so the total that is borrowed is $5,500 for my freshman year. And I have an interest rate of 6.53%. Every year, you're going to add in more loans. So if you go down this pathway over 4 years, you would end up with 2 loans each year, or 8 loans total. So you go through that, and what this is going to do is it's going to help you to get an idea of what the payment plan is going to look like. And so this is going to give you the balance that you borrow, the interest, and then your estimated monthly payment. And one thing that you want to consider is how soon you want to pay off those loans. So if I'm going in as a freshman in 2025, I'm going to be graduating in 2029, right? If I hit a 4-year schedule, I'm able to stay on track, then I would graduate in 2029. You notice that your interest isn't going to accrue on those subsidized loans while you're in school, but when you're out of school, the interest is going to be owed on both types of loans. And then what you'll have to do is you'll have to repay that. And there are a couple different ways that you can repay that. It's a little bit more advanced for this video than what I want to go through. But what I want to do in this video is just give you a better understanding of how much you're going to owe. So what you'll notice here is that they will calculate your current principal balance, estimated amount that you need to borrow to continue program, and new principal balance. And so this is going to show you how your interest is going to accrue. It's also going to give you an estimated payment there. So this will give you an idea of how much you're going to owe. You can go through here and adjust all the details. What I did in this sheet was I walked through each year and I just estimated the total amount of interest that accrues on my unsubsidized loans, and then I added that every year. So I'm compounding that, right? So in my sophomore year, I'm going to owe, if interest rates stay the same, I'm going to owe the interest from my freshman year, plus I'm going to owe the interest from the loan my sophomore year, and that's going to compound. You see that brings up to $270 in interest. In my junior year, I'm going to owe the interest on that loan plus the accrued interest here. So the longer that you go without paying off these unsubsidized loans, you're going to accrue interest on interest. In other words, the $131 of interest payments that are added on your loan, those are going to start to accrue interest. So you're paying interest on interest, which is why you want to pay these down either while you're working, while you're at school, if possible, or as soon as you get out. But what this example does is it gives you an idea of what your total value owed is. So this is a pretty good financial aid offer. If you notice here, there's a federal Pell Grant, there's a UMD grant, Terrapin commitment. That all is going to provide about $19,500, and we're only borrowing $5,500. But even at that value, over 4 years, you end up paying about $28,000 in loans. You're going to need to pay back about $28,000 in loans and accrued interest. So when you graduate now, you have to figure out, okay, how much am I going to pay back? Or how quickly can I pay these loans back? You're going to be responsible for paying this back. So hopefully this gives you a great understanding of this, and it helps you to get started with looking at how to borrow for paying for college and getting familiar with some of the different terms like unsubsidized or subsidized loans, the repayment options themselves. 28 grand is a lot of money. That's a very nice car. It could be a down payment on a property or a business. It could pay for a wedding. So you want to have a view of what your obligations are going to be and how you can reduce those obligations as you go forward. And that's why there are programs that help you to get scholarships. There are some different opportunities for internships where you may be able to pay down the loans a little bit faster or borrow less because of that. But I would encourage you to go on to StudentAid.gov, get familiar with these terms, play around with the calculator, and let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you out if you do. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.